We're about to start. Yeah.
We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. No dark sarcasm in the classroom. Teacher, leave them kids alone. Hey, teacher, leave them kids alone. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall.
If you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? If you don't eat your meat, yes. Can't you behind the great shed? Can you have any pudding? Stand still, laddie. You. Yes. You behind the great shed. Stand still, laddie.
Have we not got...
Hey, welcome. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the FIIG'S Live podcast. Am I being a bit loud for the bedtime show? Sorry, but not sorry. Anyway, as you can see, I have my lovely guest. Introduce yourself, but just in case they don't know who you are.
I am Elizabeth. I come every month-ish
Yes.
to join FIIG'S on the Hub Live Radio. I am resident teacher.
Yes.
So this month, we are talking about revision because you are about to begin your exams.
Yes, and you're about to have children that are beginning their exams.
Yeah.
Because those people that you're talking to should be in bed.
Yeah, they should be in bed. That's right.
You can watch it back. Get
You
your
might be doing
parents to
some
get you
last
to watch
minute.
it back. But you should be in bed.
Yeah.
You should not be watching this. Yeah. And we're talking about
Also,
Also, so Elizabeth, basically, I'm trying to talk about one thing, and Elizabeth is trying to talk about another thing, even though we agreed to talk about both things.
We were talking about both things. I'm just reminding
She just
you
exactly
that we're talking about
various
revision
times as well, not just once or twice, reminded me. Since she's been here, which has been about 7 minutes, she reminded me about 8 times and revision.
Because otherwise,
I will forget.
the conversation is about obesity.
Exactly. Otherwise, the concentration. She doesn't have it. I don't have it. The conversation is about obesity and what's going on in the UK with our youths. Is it fat shaming? Is it child abuse? Is it neglect? Or is it I just want to do what I want, so I will? Let's find out. By the end of the show, I'm sure we'll come to some form of conclusion because we always do, don't we?
Yeah, but we're
always
going to have
do.
a proper chat about
We're
it,
gonna have
right?
a
We're going to
proper
have a look at what causes it as well.
Absolutely.
Because
So,
we
teacher
can
here has
only
got all the
answer
facts.
it.
Yeah?
We can only answer your questions.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine.
You've got all the facts there. And if anybody wants to ask any questions, just do. I'm sure that I probably won't see you asking them on the screen, but I will try. Because one can only do so much. I need a producer. My friend said that she would be a producer, but she's never going to come every week. You know, it's a proper commitment to come here every week, especially to sit with me for 2 hours. Like, boy, do you know what I mean? It's got to take one kind of person. So if anybody's out there that wants to be my producer, let me know, because I'll be really interested in that. Yeah, for free, volunteering. All I can offer you is a hug, and with the hug you get lots and lots of lovely, healthy hugs. That's what you get.
You kept that clean, didn't you?
Yeah, kept that
well
clean.
Done. Well done.
Clean. Thank you very
Kept
much.
that clean.
So, I just want to pick up Our Forgotten Neighbours, the sponsors of the show and the Hub Live Radio. We are powered by Power 105 FM. So, don't forget to tune in all the time because all around the clock we are keeping you entertained. Big up all the Hub Live Radios. And I just want to say that Sweetness's show before this now, banging show, Sweetness. Big up yourself.
Whoop.
Yeah, really, really good. Kept me entertained the whole way. And some of the tunes you were playing, most of the tunes you were playing, you know the artist. Do you know what I mean? Or the artist has been on the show. So I find that absolutely amazing. Don't forget to listen, guys, to the Underground Music Show every single Thursday from 8 till 10 with the one and only Sweetness. Boop, boop, boop. Yes, so Soup Kitchens, guys. We have 2 Soup Kitchens running every Thursday. We had it today down there at Toby Hall and Commercial Street, and it runs from 5 till 7, where we give away food, we give away toiletries, we give away whatever you need to keep you dignified and healthy and hygienic. Yeah, that's what we've got down there. So come along, because we're always welcoming people. If you want to donate, if you want to volunteer, please get in touch with ourforgottenneighbours.co.uk. We are on Instagram, Facebook, all over the place. You can't miss us, because we never want to forget any of our neighbours, guys. And then tomorrow is the Soup Kitchen at Finsbury Park. That will be taking place from 2 till 4 every single Friday, guys, outside the park, next door to the door. We have a massive soup kitchen where the queue goes down to the bus stop, you know. Right, try it now. So get yourselves down there if anything you need. Do you know what happens, Elizabeth? Let me just tell you this while you're scrolling.
No, I'm just...
because I know you can lend an ear. Basically, every time I see a homeless person, I lean over to my car because I have stuff there to give them, but it's never money. It's always a leaflet, and they're so disappointed. No, they are not happy with me.
No.
I
thought you were going to say it's food.
I give them false hope.
Yeah.
Once I've leaned over, when I see them, you know, the ones at your window when you're driving, and then I give them a leaflet. I gave one to a guy today. He just looked at me. He goes, "Thanks, love," but he didn't mean it. He just meant you are out of order. I thought you were going to give me something better than this. But I sent
what's the leaflet?
The leaflet sends them to the soup kitchen.
Right.
Yeah, so it is good, but you know, first of all, we got to rely on the fact that they can read.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? Because it is a leaflet. I haven't physically told them. And then the point I'm trying to actually make is that as you lean over and make a movement, they are not expecting a leaflet.
No.
It's very disappointing for them. But hey ho, a leaflet it is. So yes, Our Forgotten Neighbours, big up yourselves, big up yourself, management. Boom, boom, boom to you. Always doing a great job, keeping it moving on the Hub Live Radio. Don't you dare go anywhere. Stay right where you are, because we are about to talk about revision and what's going on with obesity in the UK with our youths. what it's causing, the effects of it, why it's happening, whose fault is it? Because they're only kids. They're only children, should I say? They're dependent. So somebody's feeding them. Do you know what I mean? Somebody's giving them money to buy food. Somebody's doing something that maybe can avoid it. But like I say, we will get to that as the show goes on. What you been up to?
What have I been up to?
Yeah, sorry. I'm just going to...
I've started my new job.
Oh, you got a job?
Yeah, get me.
Yeah?
Yeah, tomorrow morning I'm in work at 8:30.
What are you doing, teaching?
No, I'm not. I am working for Love Brain.
Oh, you're actually working for them now?
I'm working for them now. I've mentioned them before, right?
You have. So can you tell us all about it yet?
Yeah, so it is
she can tell. Oh, no, I know who Love Brain are.
Yeah,
Love
you've
Brain,
looked them up.
Yeah, Love Brain are the people that do your memory.
Memory and yeah, so they do masterclasses in memory and focus.
Yes,
They're a
I remember
cognitive
these
development
people.
company.
Yes, my friend
That's
hooked me
right.
up with them. I nearly went to one of their seminars. I just didn't make it.
Yeah, the masterclass.
forgot.
Call it. And
Pardon the pun.
yeah, you forgot exactly. And I mean, I phoned someone the other day who had forgotten they'd even been, which was really funny. Because I mean, the masterclass is talking to you about the science and the theory behind the
Why you
product,
forget.
which is a course. Yeah, why we forget,
Yeah.
why, and to show us that what we can do with our brains. And then, obviously, it is to get you to sign up to the course, which is deep diving you into using the techniques, the tools, the insights to make your brain perform at a much higher level.
Right. Have you found it useful?
Oh, yeah, massively.
Really?
Yeah.
And are you using it in your everyday life?
That's it. Yeah, it's getting it into everyday life so that you are constantly using the tools, and then you don't even need you need them, but you do it automatically.
Yeah, it becomes natural, like
becomes
driving.
second nature,
Like-
exactly like
See
driving.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so listen to this then.
Yeah.
I know a teacher called Ken. He is white. Well, he's working class because he was a teacher. Oh, actually, he's middle class, got a degree. Anyway, he is 96 and
Years old.
Yeah, and he's functioning. His brain is amazing, and I think that's because he was a teacher.
But maybe I think there are many different reasons for people keeping going into
Yeah,
older
but
age.
he
I think
is
the
compos
brain.
mentis.
Yeah, I think brain
96.
power and using your brain and constantly learning new things is part of it.
I think so as well.
I think also-
listen, I guarantee it almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
I think other factors. It'd be interesting to hear more about Ken, but other factors I think are being with people.
Yeah.
So you don't, not necessarily all of the time, but knowing there are people and you are interacting with people and you're not sitting on your own.
Yeah, that makes a massive
I
difference.
think that's huge.
That kills you 14% quicker.
Surely, and then keeping moving.
Yeah.
Exercise.
Yeah.
Anyone that's read Skellig will remember the character in there.
Or if you go on my TikTok, you'll see some people there, 98 and 100 and something, and they're going out for a walk.
Yeah.
And she says, keep moving, get rid
Yeah.
of your car.
Keep. Yeah.
Because I asked her
yeah.
what the secret to life was, and that's what her answer was. Keep moving, get rid of your car. She shouted at me, get bloody rid of it.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, calm down.
Yeah.
But she was serious.
Well, I think because your spine is really important. Like moving your spine and being able to move it is part of
Being able to move.
Being able to move, and it's connected to your head, right? So the whole thing is really important, like right from brain down.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
people with MS, that's why they struggle, because the brain doesn't send the signals to the body.
Yeah.
So that's why it deteriorates, that disease. And
Yeah.
there's no cure for it, because the brain is controlling what the body doesn't do anymore.
Or doesn't do. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which means, so it's pruning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's synaptic pruning
Okay,
that must
that
be
what it's called?
occurring
Okay.
when
When
we
you
stop.
say pruning,
So when
taking
we
away.
stop using parts of our brain, so
Right.
like we talked last time about mobile phones,
We
didn't we?
did.
And how reliant we are on them
Yes.
to do things like tell us what we're doing today.
Tell us how to
And
spell.
Right, all of this thing. So what happens is your brain stops thinking it needs to do it anymore, and it prunes off that.
Yes, I hear that.
It stops using it, so you don't. You stop functioning in that level. So you've got to keep these things going in order to keep the synapses connected. Having said that,
Yeah,
once you know something
yeah,
and it's in your long-term memory,
yeah,
it's there.
yeah. You don't need to keep on.
And people will tell you, "Oh, as I've got older, I can't remember so well." It's actually more to do, which I've always thought, but now I understand scientifically, it's more to do with the fact what we're not able to do is connect with that bit of memory, because we've got lots and lots of experiences post that memory, and we aren't
Practicing
we're just not connecting to it. So finding ways to put ourselves into a calm state so that we can reconnect to the memory that we need is what's needed. Something's occurring on that.
Oh yeah, nothing really because it's
Um,
off.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's not off. The battery's low. This and that. Blah blah blah. I'm supposed to be on it, and somebody. Let's go live again. Go on then.
Hello, TikTok.
They're not there yet.
Oh, they're
just
not there.
being told. Oh, no, hold on. It says go live. I only pressed it. Ooh.
I swear we had comments coming up
We
on
did
there
well.
a second ago.
Yeah. I need a producer.
Yeah. So reconnecting and experiences are, and I'm going to talk about this linked to revision, but experiences are how we remember,
Right.
We need to experience. And some of us experience really well visually,
Yes.
and that is the most powerful thing to do. But you might add that visual to the visual experience, a sound, or if that helps you as well, or but actions and visual movement, even if you're just doing it in your head as a visualization,
That's good enough.
is enough of an experience for
Yes.
you to start to embed it into
To
your
start, yeah.
memory.
Right. I
Right.
hear that.
So that is my advice to those of you at home with children about to take exams who are worried about the information. Get them to re-experience it. So connect words to each other that they need to connect for their revision by creating images. Or if it's a really long scientific word, for example, that they need, break it down into, because there will be smaller chunks to the word, and by chunks I might mean syllables or words within the word, which is very frequent with scientific words. Break it down and then connect together the images with little actions to piece the word together.
And you know what? That skill must be used so much just for simple things like the news commentator, for the sports commentator. They have got all these names.
Yeah.
All these international sport. I've always thought about that. And another thing I know what you're saying is absolutely 100% true is because when my eldest son was young, I taught him his ABC. I taught him the sounds and the phonics. Then we went away on holiday and we didn't practice for 3 months. And when we came back, he'd forgotten.
Right.
I was mortified. It was easy to teach him again because of muscle memory, but he had forgotten because we hadn't practiced. So from then on, every time we go on holiday, poor children, they have to do workbooks and stuff before they play because I'm never having that again.
Yeah.
And
you
people
told me
be
that
going,
before.
have I told you that before?
Yeah. And
I can't have it.
so it's not repetition. It's what did they send you with a book with actions in? Or
No,
visuals?
we've done phonics then.
Yeah, with attached to the. So
Well, there
when
was
my
an apple.
children did phonics, they
So like
had
an apple.
they had like a movement with the sound.
No, I've done it all myself.
Oh, you did it, yeah. So if you'd added a movement, the experience would have been stronger.
So listen to
Right.
this then. Kingston had a stutter, and I added a movement to his stutter. Now he doesn't have a stutter.
How dig into that? What do you mean you added a
So
movement to the stutter?
basically, he would stutter, and as he was stuttering, I would go like this,
Oh, nice.
and he would get the words out. And my dad said, you need to patent that because he doesn't stutter now.
Right.
He has zero stutter.
Now,
and he was,
so when you did this, what was he doing?
he was stuttering, but
But what was he looking at your?
almost stuttering to the beat of my hand.
Okay.
And then when I stopped the beat of my hand, he stopped the stutter in that moment while he
Wow.
was saying the word.
Wow.
And now he doesn't. I don't know where I got that from.
But
I got it from my own brain,
Right.
and it worked because he has zero stutter. Whereas Winter has a stutter, and there is no way that would have worked with her because she's never going to pay attention to me enough for me to have done that. So now her stutter's thing because we just tell her stop, slow
down.
down.
Yeah.
With your brain, slow down,
Yeah.
and then your mouth will hopefully slow down with it. And she is so, because now she tells herself, slow down.
Nice.
So she goes, slow down. Then she starts again.
Right. That's brilliant.
And so what you're saying about this movement thing, it's all true.
Yeah.
It's all true.
And what you're saying about her speaking to herself is about how we talk to our brain. That's another big thing that we talk about a Love Brain. How you are talking to yourself. Your self-talk is really massively powerful.
Yeah.
So how many times, for example, have you persuaded yourself not to do something for whatever reason? And that reason probably is something
like not go to work.
like not go to work, yeah. Or, do you remember when we were going to hand out those leaflets? And
Yeah. Like not do that.
Like not do that.
Yeah.
And it's because something has inhibited your thought patterns, and it's probably a repeated pattern that actually you're going back to frequently.
And you said that about practice, didn't you?
Right, you've got to practice, exactly.
No, but even practicing that is a practice.
So you're practicing something that's not
Blocking
working
you.
for you,
Yeah.
that's blocking, exactly that. So your self-talk, like changing that, even and this is another one for parents, say to your teenage children as they're working, to tell themselves, well done, at the slightest thing. You've got through a page of learning.
She's always doing it.
Well done.
She's like, I ate. I'm like, are you talking to her? She goes, no, just do Mum Fisher.
Yeah.
She's like, I ate that, Mum, blah, blah. She really is.
Perfect.
I don't know where she's getting all this from.
Well, hopefully
she
a teacher's.
is doing it.
Yeah, perfect.
She is doing all of that. I said you better do well in these exams. I think she will.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it like, you better do well because all this work you're putting in. Not you better do well because otherwise I'm going to beat you. Not like that.
Yeah. Just in case that's what immediately came to our head.
Exactly. Right, so I told you about the joke that I made, didn't I? About beating her and the safeguarding.
And then the safeguarding conversation. That's also why you,
Yeah.
Just
covering myself.
covering.
Absolutely. Okay, so big up all the listeners, big up all the Hub Live Radio listeners, big up all the Power FM, because the Hub Live Radio is powered by Power 105 FM. Big up our forgotten neighbours, and don't forget about Pink Chili Printing for all your printing needs.
Okay.
Quick advert, quick plug.
Yeah, well done. Where's all this?
I'm getting it all from my head.
Oh, you see?
Like, I've been doing
Your
it for
brain
so
is so
long.
massive.
Yeah, well, because I've got a big head. As you know what, my dad used to call me big head all the time, and he said it's a compliment, darling. It means you've got big brains. That will do.
That'll do.
Yeah,
That's
do
all
know
you
what I mean?
need. Yeah,
that's all.
You see,
Stuff
there
my
you go.
forehead is
Big up.
big boy. I used to get spammed when I was at school.
What does that mean?
Oh, did you not know about that? Is that because you don't come from London? A spam.
Maybe, yeah.
Like, you just get a slap on your head. Your
Oh,
forehead.
yeah.
Spam, it's
Slap,
called.
slaphead.
As you call it, slaphead.
I think we're yeah.
Yes, that's
Very,
that
very
sounds right.
clear.
Yeah,
and
yeah, exactly
the
what
point,
it is. Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about. What do you want to talk about first?
Well, I've already really started on.
Yeah, revision. So let's just go with it.
Shall we go with that?
So revision is a thing. I'll just give my experiences with revision. The most I ever revised was for my theory test.
Oh,
I learned
nice.
the whole book.
Yeah.
And because I was
Because you
interested
wanted
in it.
that.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's huge.
Yeah,
wanting it.
Yeah, exactly. By the time I was supposed to do anything to do with school, that was the last thing I wanted to do was revise. It really, really was. So let's talk about revision and your advice, your suggestions of how you think people would be best served to revise.
So linking it to schools
Yes.
And just a reminder, I have worked in schools for like 25 years. I'm currently not in a school, but that doesn't mean I don't know what's happening. I do.
So there.
Look, so there. Or just like, it's okay, you can trust that I know what's happening in school. And my advice, again, is make use of the resources that are there, and essentially the best resource is your teacher. Whether you like them or not, they are the best resource. If they are offering sessions, go to the sessions.
So listen to this now.
Yeah, I honestly, because that's where the nuggets of information about that exam are going to come. And you just don't know. Even if you're the only one that turns up, it's even better because you get suddenly one-to-one time with this teacher that you usually have to share with 29 other people probably, and you hardly ever get a word in, right? Go to the sessions. It was actually my son that said that.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, I went to everything and it definitely helped.
Oh, brilliant. So that's good. There you go.
Yeah.
Listen to this now. Do you think that if you like your teacher, it helps you with your subject? The reason I ask is because Finale, she's in year 9. So she's just chosen her GCSEs. She used to love certain subjects, which she doesn't like now because she doesn't like the teacher. Do you think that's a real thing or what?
Yeah, because you need to be engaged, and there are some people who you don't connect with. It isn't the fault. It's not like a fault situation.
No, of
it's
course
just
not.
a personality situation.
Yeah.
But if you are interested in the subject, you're interested in the subject, and you will.
Don't let the teacher stop you.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, so that's actually a really good one, I think. Do not let the teacher stop, because that teacher's already done their degree and learnt their things. Go and learn yours. Don't let them stop you. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'd say.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, leave the attitude at home and get on with what you've got to do while you're at school. And also, I was going to ask you, because you were saying about revision, go to all the clubs, you go to all the after school things, and something else you said. That was the main thing you said.
And use the resources.
Oh, use the resources. Right. So, how would you best advise them to revise without a screen?
Yeah, I mean, this is it. So one of the things I wrote down on here was be concerned about the tech, because so much revision stuff now is on a screen. Like, in fact,
I think it's so unhealthy.
One of my friend's schools, the school that her son is doing his GCSEs at, every single revision thing is on the screen.
I'm taking
and she's
it away
like,
from
it's
her
so annoying because
they're on Snapchat and
because
Instagram
obviously there's
and
so many
TikTok
distractions coming
all at
in.
the same time.
Yeah, and the reality is we cannot multitask. You cannot be looking at that distraction.
She thinks she
and
can listen
learning.
to music. Can she listen to Can they listen to music in their headphones? Their music that they really like and study. Is that possible? I'm gonna play this.
Okay, I can't give you the actual scientific answer. I will ask it for next time. But what I will say is I would definitely not let it be music with words. It's got to be just melody.
It's never that. It's all the songs.
Because
I'm like, how can you concentrate? Because it helps. She says.
So I think music can help.
She said that music helps with the singing.
I would argue that the problem with words and singing is that you are going to be vocalizing in your head. And you can't do two things at once.
Right, let's
you can
ask that
only
question again.
Task switch, right? So if you think you can do both things, you can't. You can only do one thing and then task switch to the other thing, which means you never totally drop in
on the thing that you're supposed to be doing. Right, so because you went, she's going to go, see, she doesn't even know how to answer it, so I'm going to ask you that question again, just for the purpose of...
And then we'll edit it.
Exactly. And then I can edit this part.
Yeah.
But she won't see this part because she never watches my show.
Okay.
Right. So.
You don't actually know that.
I do. I do. They won't watch it until I'm dead and gone, and they miss me.
Yeah.
They miss me. They'll be going, rewind it. I didn't see that bit. They'll be doing that. Anyway.
I want to hear her voice.
Yeah. I miss her so much. Anyway,
that's all in your dreams.
Exactly.
We know.
Right. So We are both comedians, so this is how it works. This is how it rolls. This is it. Right.
And our children are often the topic.
Honestly, seriously. Tiny little tattoos.
That's out of context.
But it's relevant. Anyway, it's out of context, but it's relevant. If that makes any sense to anybody. It does to me.
To us.
Yeah. Right, Elizabeth, be serious now.
Okay, right.
Okay. So with
Does
regard,
music help?
Yeah, with regard to revision, I'm trying to wonder, because I've got a 16-year-old daughter. She's just about to do her GCSEs, and she's constantly listening to her playlist, which is vocal music that sometimes she's singing to. And I'm saying to her, how can you concentrate when you're listening to that? And she says it helps her to concentrate. Please let us know whether there's any truth in that.
I think music does help some people, right? However, I would argue that you do not want words. You want just the sound, the melody, because on cue, we've got distraction from next door, because you cannot be singing along and revising.
Right.
You might think that you're doing two things at once,
Yeah.
but you're not. You're task switching, which means you've locked yourself out of the thing that you're supposed to be doing and started something new. And your brain has to readjust every time you do that.
Okay, and that's hard work for your brain?
That's really hard work for your brain. And it also means nothing's going into your long-term memory.
Oh, okay.
You're not actually
being
giving
productive.
yourself a productive environment at all.
Good.
And even when you feel the pain, like, oh, this is too much, you keep going. I used to tell students 20 minutes.
What,
But
revision?
actually, 20 minutes, then take a break. No, don't do that. It's
What is
actually
it?
not the right advice.
What is it?
You keep going.
Oh.
Because
That's what she does. She does it the whole day.
yeah. I mean, you don't want to
No, but she does do
overdoing
it. She does I
Yeah.
think she overdoes it. She is convinced this is what works for her.
Right. Okay. Well, maybe it does.
She's literally sitting there with papers all over, past exam papers,
And does she stick to one subject?
at a time.
Yeah. I mean, for the whole day.
Oh God, I don't know. I'll have to ask.
Yeah.
Right,
So
what's
I mean,
what's
so
the
I'm
advice?
talking about with your subject.
Yes.
Give yourself the time that you're going to spend on that subject.
Yes.
So I suggest possibly like making a timetable at home.
You told me about this timetable before.
Make it linked to the actual exams at this point, because the exams are starting like
on the
next
9th
week,
of
right?
May, people.
Right. So at this point, you need your exam timetable to link with your exams, so you know that you've done the stuff that's coming up.
Right. Okay.
Don't.
And what about the big number mark questions? What would you suggest with them? Do you suggest that
Hang on.
people do them?
Just
Are we
wait
jumping?
1
Sorry.
second. Well, we'll come back to it.
No problem.
Keep it in your head.
Yeah.
So exam timetable, link it to the exams, but be realistic. Do not say you can do all day, but actually you've got a dance class or a swimming class or whatever that you need, because you need those things.
Yeah,
because
she
they're
goes
part
to
of
the
it,
gym.
right? So you can you give yourself an hour or 2 hours, and you focus solely and solidly without distractions during that time, and keep yourself there, keep yourself focused, and keep going, because your brain is enjoying the depth of that learning, actually. Even when you get to that wall and you think, I can't do any more,
Carry on.
you can.
Is that the same as when you exercise? The same kind of
Exactly.
feeling?
You don't stop, do
Yeah,
you?
no, you don't
You're
stop.
told to keep going,
You
right?
are told to keep going, and the class is for an hour, and you just keep going.
And your
for
brain
that hour.
is doing the same. It's a muscle that needs
I was
the
just about
same
to say
kind
that.
of work.
So your brain's a muscle, and it needs to be exercised.
Yeah, and if you stop after 20 minutes, you haven't hit the depths
Yeah.
that you need to really
Get it in there to penetrate.
and for your and focus on. So exam timetable, chunk out the time,
Right,
be
so
realistic, don't do all day.
let me
but
get this right.
break it
Exam
up.
timetable. Do you mean exam revision timetable?
Yes, sorry, yeah,
Right,
I'm talking
okay.
about but you want to align it with your exam timetable.
What do you mean by that?
So now
Yeah.
you know that in 10 days' time,
Yeah,
your
you've got
literature
chemistry.
1 is coming up,
Yeah.
right? Or 9 days' time,
Yeah.
literature 1. So you need to make sure that that is the literature that you're studying.
Right.
But also
Right.
that you've got, when literature 2's coming up, or
So
because
that you can prepare for that as
yeah,
well.
because there's not actually a big gap between them. So if you've only done literature 1, you haven't given yourself enough time to do literature 2.
How much time do you need
you see
to
what I
revise?
mean?
I do see what you mean. How much? No, I mean,
Can't answer that. That's going to be person dependent, isn't it?
no, I don't mean time. Do you know what I mean? Time is in when your exams were in May. When would you suggest people should have started revising?
Okay, so that will be different for different people. If you are one of these people, like your daughter is, who has done all of their homework,
Ridiculous.
all
they
of
do it
their
all.
all of their preparation for whatever they've been asked to do, really, they're on it,
Yeah,
right?
she's on it.
They're on it, and yes, they know that they've got to revise, but you perhaps don't play this bit, but probably you're all right to let her
I can't
do
no,
it in her way.
She's
because
doing it in her way.
yeah.
I can't stop her.
No, because
I have no control over this. She has got whatever she's got it on lock.
yeah, she's done it. She's
Yeah,
doing it, and
yeah.
because she's done it all the time.
Yeah.
She's on it.
Yeah, she is.
That's fine. Some people, I don't know if it's appropriate. This is the kind
Just
of
say
thing
it.
that teachers might say to each other, but it's not really appropriate for general consumption. But because it sounds really terribly sexist, but in fact, girls tend to work hard right from the beginning, right?
Right.
The girl, and so which means that even girls that aren't really aren't necessarily from a place where they have all the advantages of lots of books at home, or we've talked about this before,
We
like high vocabulary
Yeah.
and all of that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Because often girls work hard, they do
Pick
do
it all
well.
up as
they
they go
do
along
well.
for themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, independently.
Boys somehow can be really quite capable without somehow doing a lot of school work. They might be doing a lot more at home than they think. And often that is the case when boys actually properly talk about it. They are doing stuff at home. They just
Yeah.
don't show that they're doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
But boys can often pull it out of the bag.
On the day.
Well, in the last year.
Okay.
So in year 11,
Yeah.
quite, able boys can pull it out of the bag in year 11 who have sat about in year 10
Yeah.
seemingly doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, anyone that's had a really good start in primary school and is pretty capable is going to, as long as they approach it with thought and consideration, will be all right with GCSEs. It's beyond that where it gets actually more tricky.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If they are not workers.
Yeah.
Right? So you can get through your GCSEs by just getting your head down and doing it when you decide to get your head down and do it.
Right, so there's no specific time to start studying, depending
the
on who
ideal
you are.
thing would be,
Right,
it is
let's
all
talk about
depending.
the ideal
Right, the
thing.
ideal thing would be to do what your daughter's done. If you haven't done that, you needed to be year 11 is the time, right? Start with your mocks, get ready for them, learn from them, fill the gap between. You've probably got 2 sets of mocks, yeah? Did your daughter have 2 sets or one? One.
Yeah.
Okay, so whatever you've learned from that first mock, is your area for improvement. Nail it, get it sorted. Use the teachers. That's what they're there for. They want to be used at this point, and nail it so that when you go into that exam, you know that even the bits that are your weak points, your
You've worked
points
on
for
them at some
improvement,
stage.
you've worked on them and they're as good as they can be.
Yeah.
So I think really year 11, ideally you've started in year 10 because you've got lots of learning in year 10 that you have got to take into the exams with you in year 11 because that's how it works. It's a 2-year course. I think that's as broad as I can make it.
So I've always said to my children, like as they've gone through their GCSEs, Kyrie was lucky because he had COVID, so he didn't do his exams. But with Kingston,
But he'd worked beforehand, so he
of
got
course,
good grades,
of
right?
course, he got not bad grades, but he's actually a football kid. He's actually a football kid. Well, who's going to stop you? Who's going to stop you?
Do it.
Oh, yeah, do it. Do what you need to do. He's actually a football kid, Cairo.
Right.
So he went to football school. and probably didn't concentrate academically as much as he should have done.
Right.
However, I've said to Kinks and Winter and Finale, you've been going to nursery for this moment.
That's
your
what I say to the students at school.
But that's the truth.
This
From
is your
nursery.
moment to show off. You have done all of this learning
Yes.
for this.
Yes.
Go and enjoy it
Yes.
and show off.
Yes. And
Do it
your
now
best.
and do your best.
Yeah.
That's it,
Yeah,
exactly.
do your
And they
best.
look at me as though I am completely bonkers.
I bet. But it's the truth, because I say to my children, I say, you've been going to nursery for your whole life
Yeah.
for this moment
Yeah.
of your GCSEs.
Exactly.
I mean,
This
how
is
could you
all
not
that
do
you've
well?
This is all you've been asked to do.
Exactly. How could you not do well?
Yeah.
It's not like you've got to go down the road and catch a pail of water.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
no.
So I don't understand what the problem
I
is.
love how you brought a nursery rhyme in there. Nursery rhyme lyric. Get you.
So what have you got written down here? She's got diagrams
no,
like a proper
well,
teacher.
so-
Spider diagram.
Because I am a proper
Oh
teacher.
yeah, sorry, that's because she is a proper teacher.
No, right. The reason I brought them is
Yes.
to show actually them for purposes of revision.
Right, yes,
Right.
I know. So what's on them? Let's
So
talk
this
about
was just about the podcast, talking about tool. These are the things I've talked. Sorry, these are the things I've talked about, like tech distractions, and be realistic, make it into an experience. We've talked about that. This
Yeah.
is the only bit that perhaps I haven't, which
Go
is
on then.
linked to this. So,
Go for it.
I've talked about saying well done, even for tiny achievements, but two other things. One is mapping, and that's what I've got here. My
Spider diagram.
This is my map. Call it
What do you call
it's
that
like
then?
well, I call it a map,
Right.
right? It's a map, so I don't know where best to place it there.
Yes.
Hopefully
tell
you
you
can
what
see
I'll do.
something, but you
I'll
can
go there with it.
yeah. So
I'll just
hopefully
do
what
that.
you can see is that there's a central. Oh look,
Oh yeah,
There's
go
your-
on. Oh.
there's a central place,
Yeah.
and then from that
You're like the
I
weather
have-
girl doing this.
I
with
have
your green
taken
screen.
yeah, I've taken routes off it, which go through the different things that I wanted to talk about today. So I think I've got school, home, tools, room, right? And then I've gone off from there. You'll see that I am using lines all the way through so that it's neurally, it's imprinted. That isn't, sorry, can I have it back? That isn't really the
Thank
best.
you.
Thank you very much. Can I ask you to hold another one? So this one might be the most useful. I was going through an inspector calls. Ideally, you would have colour on here. I don't have lots of different coloured pens, and I should invest, really. But you can see that's an inspector calls, and you'll be able to see some little...
That's a book, right?
An
Jeez,
inspector calls is
it's
a
book.
play,
It's
yeah.
a play.
Yeah, yeah.
They've
a book,
been
yeah,
reading it
yeah,
at school for the
yeah.
GCSEs.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
a modern play, so
Yeah.
it's literature too. And can you see I've put tiny little...
Tattoos.
tiny little visuals on there, like the table and I can't think and things like that. Like the idea being that that experience thing that I was talking about
Yes.
earlier, like adding some sort of visual experience
Right, okay.
into what you're writing, so it's not just words. But
And
you'll
then you'll
see, I'm not
remember it.
writing loads of sentences. What I'm writing is key words for you to
Right.
remember,
Right.
and then because
Thank you.
yeah, thank you very, very much. Keywords to remember and visuals to link them, and hopefully that goes into your neural pathways as an experience. And
So
you're
that
much-
you remember it.
exactly. So and a map is a works for you neurally, and actually it goes clockwise round. So it starts.
Oh, it has relevance even in order of writing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it starts there and goes round, right?
And do you advise that for people that are revising?
Yes, because then you're honing down onto the key pieces of information, and you are thinking about how you're processing them.
Right.
Right. So I have Burling family, and then I have the next strand is the names of the characters, and then the next strand is something about the characters, a key word about the characters. So it's just, do you remember, well, it's a bit, actually, if you think about it, it's a bit like a website,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
You
yeah.
have a front page which has got links on it to the next page.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, so it's very similar.
Right, yeah.
And,
I
and
get
so
that.
you're linking together the pathway
And your research.
so that overall your brain can connect together that information. And if you put little visuals in there as well, you're starting to make that experience of connection.
Brilliant. So, what was I going to say? You said that I should hold on to it. I think you answered it, didn't you? What I was saying. Right. What I was going to say is, would you suggest one of these maps for each subject, or each module in the subject? What would you,
exactly. Yeah, you want to
so that you can pinpoint things.
So you can
and be more specific about what you're learning.
And because at this point, and when you're very close, you want to nail key pieces of information.
Specific bits, rather than doing it for every subject, because there's loads of different aspects to every subject, right?
Oh yeah.
Right.
You can't do one for all subjects.
No,
You might. I mean, so I've got this is just the plot of an Inspector Calls. I might then do another one with characters.
Well, there you go.
I might do, but actually, if I've got enough on here to spark it, then you can move on. And you could perhaps do a theme.
What about flashcards? Are they still reigning?
So the way to use flashcards is you have your pile with, say, questions on one side, answer on the other. It might be something different if it's science, I don't know. However you've laid out your flashcards, think about it. But anyway, let's say questions on one side, answers on the other, and you look at the question, you answer it, you turn it over. If it's correct, you put it down on one side. If it's incorrect, you put it down on the other side. You then make two piles of correct, the ones you've already got and the ones that you got wrong. And then you work on the ones you've got wrong. Work on those until you're getting them right. Mix them back together and do it again. And hopefully your pile of ones wrong
gets smaller.
Yeah. Etc. So that's how to use flashcards.
And
they are useful.
Are they?
Because you're doing something, you're experiencing something.
Yes,
aren't you? You're doing something physical as well.
There you go with the experience.
And if you get it wrong, think of a visual and try to help you get it right. Like, can you connect the information to help you get it right?
Brilliant.
And
Absolutely
when I
brilliant.
say think of a visual and make a movement, you've got to attach two things together that make
sense.
An impact. No, they don't have to make sense.
Okay.
They just have to impact each other somehow so that they clash together.
To spark what needs to be sparked in your brain.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's through that action that they
sounds quite violent.
That you remember. Yeah. And it can be as mad as you like because it's just in your head. No one else needs to know it.
Gosh almighty. No wonder the country's on mental health. Do you know what I mean?
All the time saying well done.
Yeah, well,
keeping
yeah,
mental
okay,
health
yeah,
positive
self-care, self-care. Right, guys, so we're coming up to the 11 o'clock hour. You've done a whole hour on revision.
Right.
I hope
think that's her telling me it's time to stop.
No, we've done an hour, so it's only fair. The show's only 2 hours, an hour each, right?
Yeah,
so your revision, I think, got a lot longer than what I would have wanted it to get. But well done. No, well done.
It was you that said revision.
No, absolutely. And very, very helpful. And I hope it's all being taken in. And if you can share this live with anybody else that might want to know about revision tips, I mean, what can you do? It's useful. It's free advice coming from an expert. So big up Our Forgotten Neighbours. We are powered and sponsored by Our Forgotten Neighbours, powered by Power 105 FM. Don't forget about the soup kitchen that's happening tomorrow at Finsbury Park, outside the park, next door to Lidl, 2 till 4. Get yourselves down there if you need anything. Get yourself down there if you want to volunteer. Get yourselves down there if you want to donate. Thank you very much. Do not forget about all your printing needs with Pink Chili Printing. Hi, TikTok, Wagwan. And hello, everybody that is listening. Guys, you know what I say, without you, I'm nothing. Do you know what I mean? And also, what was I going to say? Night, bedtime. You all tucked in? Are you really? Go on, get yourself all tucked in. I'll try not to be so loud. I'm not promising. You know what it's like. So, basically, I wanted to tell you a little bit about Bricking It. We're going to the Fringe. but not
Yay!
Edinburgh,
Yay.
Tunbridge,
What?
Tunbridge Wells, and Camden.
Oh, brilliant.
So not too far out. Because
Yeah.
I thought about Edinburgh and I thought, no, it's too far. That's my
You'll get a
conclusion.
nosebleed if you leave London. won't you?
Honestly. So Tunbridge Wells is about as far as. So we're in. So there were 3 of us already.
Well done, you.
So are you free on the 29th of June, which is a Sunday, to come to Tunbridge Wells Fringe so that you can perform and do a 10-minute set?
Ah, is that I think you've posted about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm asking you now on air, are you free?
So June.
June the 29th.
June the 29th.
Which is a Sunday. It's outside.
I should be.
It should be.
Yeah.
Tunbridge Wells, they help you sell the tickets and do all the promotion. Like
Oh,
the
that's pretty
venue,
cool.
it's called the Black Horse. I think show times at 5 or 7. I'll obviously let you know the finer details along the time. But when you say you should be, I don't like it when you say that. Because then she'll go, no, I'm not available. I did say I might not be.
I don't see.
Do you have the diary?
Yeah, it is here, but I am really hyper aware of having said.
Hey,
Oh.
it is the Fig Life podcast. She's right. Here we are.
Having said all that about. Right, let's see.
Go on.
Right. Oh no!
See?
I knew
You
I
see?
did, didn't I?
Yes.
That's what you see. I was
Yeah.
not sure.
That's right.
29th of June. Right. So here's the story.
Go for it.
It's completely off topic.
I
My
wanna
dad
hear
is a
it.
twin.
Okay.
Yeah, and but obviously he and his twin brother both turned 80 on the same day
Yeah.
in January,
Yeah.
on January the 5th. So in order to not make because January is also a bit of an odd time. Like my birthday's December. It's hard to get people together. So my dad had a 79.5 birthday party in June I think it was June the 29th last year, and my Uncle John, who is my dad's twin brother, is having a 80.5 birthday party
Why?
in June, and that's that day because people can't gather on the 5th of January because it snowed. Like this year, they get together. It snowed, and they didn't even get
59.5.
together on their 80th birthday.
No,
they
right,
couldn't
fair
get
enough,
together,
fair enough.
right?
So you're
So the way they
blessed to have them still as well at this age.
How blessed.
Honestly.
I mean, I'm so grateful. I've got
Honestly.
my mum and my dad.
Oh, you are lucky.
I am so lucky.
Very.
And I can tell you that my mum and dad are so, this is where my theory of connection and having people around, I mean, they had like nearly 200 people at their birthday parties.
Yeah.
I
Well,
kid
they
you
would
not.
do. They
Not-
would do.
not-
They would know that many people though at that age.
Well, yeah, but a lot of death has occurred.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Lots
Yeah.
of their friends have died,
Yeah.
but there was still this huge number of people. I can't gather that many people.
Yeah, you could if you tried.
Yeah,
Get
you're
your
right, I don't
get your
try
boobs
harder.
out.
But okay, yeah, that might work.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks.
That's okay.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Brilliant.
Right, so 29th of June, you're busy.
I'm
okay.
busy.
Well,
I
that was
can't
really
believe
good
it.
that we cleared that up.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to ask you again,
No,
and
I'm
at least I
sorry.
know that
I'm
you're
always
busy.
do that, and it was my
Everybody knows that you're
sister's
busy.
50th.
And yeah, it was your sister's
At
50th.
the
Don't worry, I'll
last
get
one.
you.
Yeah.
I'll get you. I'll get you.
You
before
know
the
I've
end
not
of the
gone
year.
away.
No, exactly.
I've not gone away. I did one last week, and I'm doing one next week.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Good.
Trafalgar Tavern.
Oh yeah, with Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're striving to be in that position,
yeah,
as
yeah, yeah,
successful
yeah.
as he is at his game, because he's on his game,
He is. on
and
his
his
game.
nights are excellent. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so big up Brooklyn.
Whoop, whoop.
Hi, Catherine Dixon, wherever you are. I hope you're well. Not sure what's happening on the screen. There's some fire emojis. There's some hearts. I'm not even going to go over there to read it. Thank you for your messages. Whatever question.
Thank you, Trickster.
Oh, well
someone
then,
says.
see, look.
Cheers, Trickster. They're talking to each other then.
Oh,
aren't they?
okay. They're not talking to us. Fair enough. All right then, such a. Right then, let's talk about what's gone wrong and why Britain's children are commonly obese. No, it won't
So we're looking. No, that's the wrong one, isn't it? It's not attached.
Okay,
Sorry,
I'll
I've
do it.
made a mess. I was just thinking we could scroll, but we can't.
Okay, yeah,
I
go
don't
on,
think it's
talk.
attached.
You answer the question. What's going on in Britain
So
and why are we obese, the children? Get rid of this.
I mean, so well, okay.
What do you
I
think?
don't. I can't. Right.
no
Well,
problem about
having
offending anyone,
okay,
just
having
get on
looked
with it.
at when I did my research,
Yeah.
it took me straight to what was probably a government website,
Yeah.
and they broke it down to diet, physical activity, family, health,
Yeah.
access to food, exercise, and and exercise.
Too much of
And
some
the-
stuff
the
and not
more-
enough of others.
Yeah, so and you are more likely to be obese as an adult if you're obese as a child.
Okay, fair enough. And do you think that as a nation we can help obesity? Do you think it can be helped?
Of course.
Of course. Okay, what does it take?
I mean, so it takes being aware of our diet and being so for example I mean, it depends what you mean by help. Like some people aren't wanting
Well, whatever it is,
help.
I don't know.
But yeah, we teach it in schools.
Yes.
Primary
so
school
what do
you
you
learn
teach
about
in schools?
you learn about foods that are sustaining, and I think one of the concerns,
Yeah.
this is one of my dad's concerns actually, interestingly, and I think he is correct. You need a little bit of everything. You do not need too much of one thing.
Yeah.
When we talk about healthy food, what food is not healthy if you only have a little bit of it? Nothing really, but it's when we concentrate. You know, like if you have a concentration of a particular thing that and that's where, like, what snacks are available to this child at home or at school or in his lunchbox or whatever. What is, who, you know, when is he fed or she? I don't know when. They. When are they fed? When are they, you know, what are the people around them eating at home, at school, etc.? I mean, I have to say, one of the things that I really rate in a school is when you go and the lunch is really good.
Yeah.
And I've worked in a couple of schools where they've had chefs in doing a range of foods, often food for the community that is in the school. So in London, that has been, you know, nice spicy food or whatever, you know, and
Cultural.
it's culturally appropriate for the children that are there.
They've even got halal stuff in schools.
Oh yeah,
They've got a
most
vegan
schools
option.
have halal.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because children feel seen then and heard and catered for.
Right.
And that school also, the school in Tottenham, I've mentioned it before, the head teacher when I was there was very, very clear on children sitting in, I say children, students sitting in the canteen with their food, with a knife and fork. They're not wandering around. They're eating a good, proper meal at lunchtime, because the reality is, and this is not just London, this is all over the country, that school meal might be the meal for many of our children.
That's so
right?
sad. It's so.
It is.
It's so
And
unbelievable
now
as well.
It's crazy, but it is true.
Right.
And you have to, you know, I think because we have lunchtime in school, it is important that schools take responsibility for that meal being a good meal. So that's why we have free school meals. That's what free school meals is. It's a free, good meal. It should be. And so, I mean, Jamie Oliver was so right. You know, we had to get rid of, I mean, turkey Twizzlers, was it? And, you know, constant chips and what have you. So having them just on a Friday with fish, fine. But they were, at one point in time, being served every single day. So a student could go into school and eat the same thing every lunchtime, which is high fat. Having it once a week is okay, isn't it?
Yeah. I hear that. I
And
hear that.
so I think it's like schools do take responsibility and should take responsibility, but quite often now, especially with budget cuts that are occurring now, that is an area that gets cut. So
Yeah, but if that area gets cut, then I mean,
So
see,
what happens to the food? It becomes less good.
Yeah, okay. So the food becomes less good.
It doesn't disappear.
Right. No, it doesn't disappear. And but you see, for me, being somebody that buys food a lot and feeds quite a large family and has constant parties for dinner, I don't think food is expensive if it's bought properly.
No, spot on. So I think I've mentioned this. I've been volunteering at Yumi Bum Bum Train,
Yes.
and the food is feeding a whole, like sometimes 300, 500 volunteers at night, and is good.
And it's not
And it's
healthy.
and it's like it's always vegan.
Yeah.
But it's vegetables in a tasty sauce with
Yeah.
flavouring,
Yeah.
which is cheap, isn't it? If you
Yeah.
buy proper flavouring in
Yeah.
its in original form,
Yeah.
it's cheap.
It's not expensive.
No, and then like rice or
Potatoes
something
or
that goes with
pasta.
it. Yeah.
See, I've got a problem with the fact that processed food is so expensive, and yet still that's what we draw for.
And yeah, it's crazy.
So,
And do you know what? I almost never eat processed food.
Me too.
And the other night,
Same.
can't believe I'm telling you this.
Did you have a
And
kebab?
I'm not even just telling you. I had worse. Right, I went to McDonald's.
Wow.
Right? Now I've been a handful of times max
in your life.
in my life. Right,
Yeah.
I went to McDonald's. And now I had a really horrible experience in McDonald's. There was someone shouting, and
In this McDonald's at the time when you went.
when we were there, and it was night. It was really, really late, and I had been to visit someone who is really unwell, and I'd come back and it was late, and I went into McDonald's, and there's this person shouting at the people behind the counter,
Yeah.
and just as the person behind the counter was about to give me my food, the person shouting at them jumped over the counter and took the food out of their hand and ran away with it.
What, your food?
My food, right? So then I had to wait again. I had to say, excuse me, that was my food.
That is unbelievable.
and
that
then
would
I
happen
know.
to you in
So
that
I'm there
moment.
for like an hour in McDonald's, not 10 minutes, which is
Like,
what it
like
should
in
be.
a having a three
It's-
course
yeah,
meal
it's
in a
like-
restaurant.
And it was supposed to be quick so I could go to bed. Right, but the thing that I really want to tell you is, you know I'm at a certain age now where if I have an alcoholic drink, I sweat in the night, right? Sorry, too much information probably.
Yeah, but
it
I
is
think
a
that's
menopause
diabetes,
thing.
though.
No, it's menopause.
Yeah, I know it is
100%.
menopause, but I think it's the sugar.
So, and that happened to me that night. No alcohol, but I had the McDonald's, and in the night I got the same set sweat.
sugar.
In
the
other
same
words,
process.
it was having the same effect on my body,
right.
on my liver, that made me. And I just thought,
Bad.
this tells me how bad this food is.
Listen to me.
Sorry,
are we in
McDonald's.
agreeal that not sorry
Agreeal?
McDonald's, Death, my son calls
McDeath,
it.
yeah.
That's what he calls
But
it.
they have tried. I know they've tried in recent years to make it better, but that absolutely confirmed it for me.
They've made the adverts better. That's all they've done.
Made the adverts better, have they? I
Yeah.
don't even watch TV.
Yeah, they've made the adverts better. That's what they've tried to do. Listen to this. I listened to it on the radio. Oh, we've got these potatoes. They make out there at the farm, getting the potatoes and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Are we in agreeal that certain types of food trigger off the sweats in the menopause?
Well, I've never had it for food. I've only ever noticed it after I've had a drink.
What about when you have something sweet?
Well, maybe I don't.
Well,
know.
clock that now. I've said
Right,
that to you.
yeah, I will,
And then
I
we'll
will.
talk about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, let's
we'll
make
talk
that.
about it again.
But I
It's
don't know
not
how
to do
it
with
fits
the
with
teacher.
schools.
No, it
No,
doesn't. No, actually, it might do because you might have to put up with your
fits with
menopausal
my
parents.
comedy. Oh, well, that's true. Well, and
or your menopausal children, teachers.
teachers. Yeah.
And how to deal with menopausal teachers.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah, we can.
We definitely can. You know all about that as well. Yeah, so I reckon that what I eat is linked to my sweats.
Right.
I've worked it out.
I bet you're right.
And I have. So when I cut out the sugars, I don't sweat.
Wow.
And when I eat the sugars, I sweat.
Wow.
Alcohol obviously is full of sugar, so that is immediate.
Okay. That totally makes sense, doesn't it?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you have sugar, just you clock the sweats.
Well,
and
that's.
see.
I mean, I imagine the McDonald's I ate was full of sugar.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you won't be having McDonald's for a while.
I doubt I'll ever have it again.
Oh, good.
I'm going to be honest. I literally never eat it.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm the same. I don't know the last time I even thought about The only thing I think about McDonald's when I go past it is McDonald's.
Yeah,
Just drive past.
same.
Right, so
Crazy.
So we worked out diet, exercise, some other things about why lack
So,
of exercise.
yeah, I mean, yes. Like, just move. It's moving, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've already talked about this evening. Keep moving.
Keep moving.
Keep moving.
But do you think that keep moving helps? Because I had a friend, God rest her soul, Donna Mapp. She's not alive anymore, bless her. But she was my good friend, and she used to say about her son, she thought that it would be okay to give him his dinner, which he'd eat all of, and then let him eat anything he liked afterwards, because he's moving around. And then they go to school, and then the school tells them, the parent, your child is obese, because they're so strict with it, this obesity. Like, it doesn't matter if the kid looks obese or not. They have already calculated and done their little thing, whatever they're doing, and they send you a letter home. My sister, they sent, and she goes, guess what? She lives up north. I said, what? They said Mackay's obese. I said, yeah, right. How dare they? And she was absolutely livid, because he didn't look like he was. He looks normal, and he wore normal sized clothes, but there's this body mass that they do, isn't it? What is it? Body mass index?
Yeah.
BMI.
Yeah.
And they had totted him up from his BMI to his height and his age and said that he's obese. And they are serious with it.
Wow.
That's what they do. They do that at the end of year 6, I think.
Right.
Yeah, they do it. They send the letter home. I've had a couple of my friends actually complaining that they've done that to them. Anyway, this particular girl, she said she just thought it would be okay to give the dinner and then let him eat anything he liked afterwards, because he was moving around, playing football, going to youth centre, doing all this stuff. That's when youth centres existed. And see, I'm sweating now.
Yeah.
Can you see? I've just broken out. And that's because in the car I had Merlot grape juice full of sugar and Coke.
Is Merlot grape juice not wine?
No, it's grape juice from Marks and Spencer's,
Right.
made from a Merlot
Merlot
grape
grape.
with no alcohol. It hasn't been fermented. And this is what it's.
And this is what happens.
This is what happens. I can't deny it. That this is. I'm trying
you
to
know
say
that it's linked.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Yeah.
say it's not all menopause, whatever.
Well, it is, but
yeah, but it's because of the menopause that it's triggering it.
Yeah.
And it just goes to
Wow.
show. I mean, it can happen if I eat like certain things I eat. I think, oh my god, I didn't know that had sugar in it, because I'm sweating. Just
Right.
because I've eaten it.
God, I want to know now.
Do you?
I need to read more stuff about
Yeah, well
menopause.
then I'm sure that you will.
That is fascinating.
Oh god, it's just annoying.
Oh, it's so annoying,
It's
isn't it?
so annoying because you just don't need it, do you?
No,
Oh,
I have got rid of that because I
God.
have estrogen, and now on top of the estrogen, it's my new joke, but I'm not delivering it as a joke.
No.
This is true.
Yes.
I now have testosterone as well,
Yeah, you told me.
so I've got all three replaced.
Yeah, we had this conversation before because I was
Yeah.
trying to explain to you that black men have the most testosterone of anybody in the world,
Oh,
and black women are following slowly behind. We've got like, I don't know how much more than white women or white people in general.
right.
It's ridiculous. I've got too much testosterone, I think. It's just not needed. Right, so Elizabeth,
Obesity.
obesity. So you said about keeping moving. Do you think it's enough? Or do you
Oh,
think it has to
no.
be combined with diet?
Yeah, like for adults, like we.
Oh, yeah,
we
no,
have
that's
to,
the thing I wanted to say.
We have it all. We need to do it all. We have to move. We have to learn to be active, and that's why it's so important to take our children to clubs, encourage our children to go to clubs at school if
Yeah.
we can't do it at home.
Yeah,
You know, get them involved in these things because then they are practicing
yes.
doing some
Doing it.
actions,
Yeah.
some activity.
Not just sitting around
They're
at
not
home
just
on a screen.
No, because they will sit around at
Oh,
home on a
for
screen,
God's
you
sake,
know.
tell me about it.
And if you practice at some point doing activity, you are going to keep doing that.
Yes, for
Even
real.
if you have gaps and you
It will still
stop
be
for a
in the
bit,
brain.
it's still part and parcel of your muscle memory and
And
makeup.
also, what was I going to say? I was going to say that somebody told me, somebody that's 70, said that they were told once you're past 50, there is no point in trying to do all this diet living healthy, this and that, blah, 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 because the damage has already been done. That's what they said. What do you think?
Bloody hell.
That's what
I
they
think.
said. I mean, I really deeped what they said.
Do you know,
I really thought about it and I thought they could have a point.
Right, okay. I have seen loads of Instagram posts about women over, they say, whatever age,
Yeah.
to getting all fit and everything.
Right.
But that doesn't mean they've only done that then.
Yeah.
Maybe they were doing it when they're younger. What I do know is that for myself, I had a period just when I was in perimenopause where I stopped being as active, I think. Oh, COVID.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Sitting, teaching online.
Oh, God, so many people. Finale, she blew up in COVID. She put on so much weight in COVID that after COVID, the amount of no's I had to tell her for food was ridiculous. It was like almost like the opposite for me, child abuse, but the opposite way. Because I had to say no.
Right.
But it seemed like I was being so, like, in public, she'd always come up to me in public, Mum, please, can I? And I'd go, no. And it just looks so bad. Obviously, it looks like I'm starving the child.
Yeah.
She put on so much weight.
But it crucified us. Well, if she is this the same child that sits and does all the work?
No, that's Winter.
Right. So
she was fine by then, but Finale was eating everything.
Yeah,
Winter was a bit more savvy
right.
to a bit of not doing that, but Finale was getting caught up and being bored and eating.
I was just going to say, I think we all did something, didn't we?
Yeah.
We all
I
reacted.
think I exercised too much.
You exercised too much. Right. Well, that's good. I sat on my bottom and taught children in school, and honestly,
Online,
and it became
every day.
Every day.
Oh my goodness, what was that like?
And so I definitely, this area here
became
changed.
larger.
And so it was linked. It is also the area that changes in menopause, but it definitely, and I can't shift it. Just isn't going anywhere, and it's just.
So what do you think about this over 50 thing then? Do you
yeah,
think
so maybe you're right. I
some
definitely,
truth in it?
yeah. I just seem unable to change.
Yeah,
Look, I am lucky because I am not
naturally slim anyway.
But I'm still.
Feeling
took me
it.
ages to get used to looking so different. I definitely had a mental decline about it.
What's that called? Body
dysmorphia.
That's it.
Yeah,
body
I
dysmorphia.
definitely had that for quite a significant enough period that I realised I was not okay.
Do you think that kicks in with children that are big when they go to school and meet other children that are not so big? Do you think that body dysmorphia kicks in from a young age?
I think that depends on how that is managed around that child, for that child, or within that child's head. It's all, isn't it? Like, different people react to things differently. One child can be told something that they are fine with and just see it as a laugh, or and while another child the same thing can be said, and internally it destroys them.
And they're going off to self-harm in private and stuff like that.
Exactly. Like, that depends on the makeup of the child, the driver of the child.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So
It's,
then we've got the other way, where you've got anorexia and bulimia.
yeah, very real,
which
horrific
are disease. Is a disease, anorexia.
It is.
You can't
just
even
like
have,
obesity is.
Well, there you go. You can't.
Sometimes those two things can exist in the same person.
Oh, absolutely. It does not surprise me. And also, I know with anorexia, you need a separate anorexic counsellor. You cannot have a normal counsellor if you are going to counselling for anorexia. You need somebody who is trained in it. That's how deep anorexia actually is.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same for obesity. I don't know if it's the same.
No.
Because I think anorexia can kill you quicker.
Yeah.
That's what I think with my brain.
Right. So it's.
What do you reckon?
I mean, that's. Yeah.
Does that make
because
sense?
it's starvation, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Whereas obesity.
I don't know how people can afford to eat so much. Food is so expensive.
It's so expensive.
But how can you afford to be... How?
I mean, I have to say, why have you brought it up as a subject?
Because I brought it up as a subject because I can't think of anything else to talk about.
Oh,
And
not because usually you bring
there's
up a
something
subject because
personal.
something's occurred
Personal. No, nothing
in the
occurred.
world, if you know what I
Nothing has
mean.
occurred in the world,
Right.
except for we haven't spoken about it yet. It is a thing.
And it is, yeah,
It is a thing.
It is a thing.
And why not? But
It's definitely a thing, but it would be interesting to see if it's something that's gone down.
No, well, I can tell you that it hasn't.
Right,
That's what I
okay.
know. That's
Right,
what I know.
okay.
From this year alone, obesity has not gone down
Right, okay.
within the children. Because I listen to the radio station, Leave Blacks Clueless, LBC, all the time.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so I hear certain things that are going on, and obesity has gone up. And I just don't understand why and how, if you, especially as a guardian or a parent, why you would do that to your child.
Oh, no, yeah, well, that's put very interestingly, because I don't know that people would choose to do that to their child. It's their, it's the habits forming
family.
that's occurred in that family group, isn't it?
Inherently.
Yeah.
So I have a cousin, big up Carly, big up Pete. They only...
Are they your cousins?
Yeah. Well, Carly's my cousin
just
and
run.
Pete is her husband.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they have one child called Ellis. Now they're big people, Carly and Pete, but they only eat meat. They only eat meat.
Oh.
They don't even eat vegetables. They might eat potatoes, but that is to them like a full fat carb. They don't eat, but they don't do that to Ellis. He eats most things.
Right.
I respect that.
Yeah. So
But that's what I'm saying.
Well,
So
but that means they have learning and education about food
okay.
enough
Let's
that they
get into
know
it then.
how to do that.
right. So back in the day, people that had money were fat because they just were.
Yes, because they were the people who ate.
Yes. And then now, people with money, now in this day and age, people with money
Have
are...
personal trainers
Yes.
and diets.
Yes,
and,
but
yeah.
they think about it. They don't
Yeah.
think about eating more. They don't think like that now.
No.
The whole mentality...
Although probably it depends which country.
Right, well, here.
Yeah, but here, yeah.
Here, people with money are slim.
Yeah.
I know that is true.
Yeah.
Like, older people that are in retirement now, okay, is that education?
I'm going to go yes. I mean, we definitely are more educated, aren't we, about it? Like, for so many reasons, not just school, although school is often a conduit for it because, say, where I'm trying to think of what my children had when they was like 5, the
5
whole
a day.
5 a day
Yeah.
and all that. These things often come through the school
Yeah.
curriculum
Yeah.
because that's how they become embedded.
Absolutely.
But we are, as a nation, better educated. Somewhat if being ignorant of it is not really an excuse, is it, anymore?
No. Well, I'm trying to ask you, the fact that people with money are not fat anymore, and if that's to do with education, you said yes. So is it for people that are not educated that are fat?
Well, I mean, I can't answer that with a yes, can I? Because it's
Well, I don't
that's
know.
not- everybody's educated.
We went through it, so I asked.
Yeah. But what I'm thinking is that's probably more to do with how you spend your money, as it is to do with whether
Education.
you know what. Yeah, because but I don't. How do I answer?
I don't know. What do you think?
I'm not.
What do you think with your brain? What do you reckon? I reckon. I'll tell you what I reckon.
Yeah.
I'll make it easy for you. I reckon that people that mainly have low incomes, wherever they live, whether it be social housing or whether they're still at home with their mum and dad or whatever, wherever you live with a roof over their head, I reckon that the low income factor comes into the fact of buying rubbish food more by default rather than being educated or not educated
Because,
of lack of funds.
and so you buy quickly, or you...
Well, you buy cheaply, because I believe that cheap food is bad quality.
Yeah. But also, if you don't think you can make good food, like if your background isn't... So it's all very well being educated in school about something
Yeah.
and being taught something.
Right.
If you have not experienced...
Yeah.
This is my theme for today.
Yes.
If you have not experienced some cooking
Yes.
and actually making food,
Yeah.
because you have never grown up in that, because actually when you were a child, which is highly likely, you were given a pizza or whatever because it was shoved in the oven, or you were given fast food or whatever, when before we really understood that actually this really was quite damaging, then you haven't learned how to cook.
Right.
And that is not taught to everybody in school.
How to cook.
How to cook.
Right.
You
okay.
you might be taught the theory
Yeah.
of and understand, have
But
some
you wouldn't
level
be
of
practicing
but you
cooking
wouldn't
every
be
day,
practicing it and
making it
experiencing
into
it.
having an art of.
Right.
Yeah. I get
Okay, so that I think is then the problem at that point,
you. Right. Okay.
because did you learn from your grandparents?
Yeah, I learned. Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember my grandma showing me how to cook,
Yeah.
and my mum and
Yeah.
my
I picked
ex-husband
things up. I was
also.
so interested in food, though.
Yeah,
My relationship with food is excellent.
yeah,
So therefore, my children's is as well.
exactly.
So basically, yeah. So therefore, I think what I'm trying to say is, you said you don't think that they do it on purpose, people, but I think that if you're too busy and you don't have the time to look about the nutrition of your child. I mean, I remember back in the day when parents would have their dinner separately to the children. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
You'd have eggs, beans, and fish fingers.
yeah, and then
Your mum and dad would have a
like
normal,
a
like some
steak.
big,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
So then we were all skinny. Like most people were skinny.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You just like fly it around like a little wisp of something. Do you know what I mean?
Well, also we weren't sitting behind a computer
We weren't
or
sitting
on
behind,
a
you see,
device
that
or
really does
even
come
TV.
into it.
We did watch TV, but we only had it at certain times. Like it wasn't on all day.
No,
was
it's
it?
so true. We wouldn't allowed it on all day.
Well,
My granddad
but
used to talk
but
about
it wasn't
burning
anything
out
on.
in the
There wasn't
tube.
anything on.
That's true. You used to remember that woman, that little girl.
The girl in the
in
yeah
box,
in the circle. Yeah.
What is it? The Scotch. What's that game? Hopscotch box.
Hopscotch box.
Yeah, she's
She's
in the hopscotch box, isn't she?
I mean, but we were outside
Yeah, it's so true.
playing in the
So
woods
true.
or whatever
It's so
down
true.
the street.
So true. So Finale had she left this notebook in my room, and it said, "God, came home from school. They called me fat again." Talking about us. She's come home from school. She's not even at school. I wish they'd give me a break. Blah blah blah. I read it and my heart sank, because that's like literally all of us teasing her, because she was. I got to look at your face.
Oh, she's talking about you at home,
Yes.
calling her fat.
Yes.
Oh.
And I read it, I was mortified. I felt so bad. But having said that, every night, she's only 13, every night she's on that floor doing sit-ups. Every night. I don't know what to say.
Say, well done. I'm
I
really
do.
proud of you.
I really am. And she is, since COVID, like I said, because she's only 13, so COVID is not that long away for her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
only, she was
huge,
was 9.
A huge part of her life.
A huge part of her life. But since then, she makes such a conscious effort not to be fat. I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah.
Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, but that is
Just
definitely impact. And I
Yeah.
don't do it. I'm so conscious of it
Yeah.
now.
It's made
that
you
I've read that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, like she sounds like she's almost on the bloody verge of suicide.
Oh.
Honestly,
God.
it was awful. I
Yeah.
read it. And I thought, oh my days, this is what everybody's talking about. Like, this is how things can spiral into
Absolutely.
terrible mental health
Yeah.
issues that I wouldn't even know about that was going on behind closed doors. I
Yeah.
would always be wondering what is wrong. But her relationship with food, I feel sorry for her as she's going to grow up, because her relationship with food is a bad relationship with food, because she almost eats because she feels that she has to, rather than, so she's a picker. She'll pick all day, everything, and probably eat her dinner as well.
Yeah.
What? She probably will. Though.
So
what I
there's
do-
a snack management.
Yeah,
thing.
so we have no snacks at home.
Right.
Zero. Again, which, looks harsh because I've got children, but I can't. Because I know what will happen if I do. And then
Yeah.
I know what life she's going to have at home with us if she does. Because the boys are awful. We're all really quite bad. Right, all right, Tubbs eating again.
That will live with her. Her body image.
Good.
Is oh my God.
It's work.
I can't believe I'm laughing. What, have you got anything to say about it?
I think, to be fair, that's literally black resilience, right?
Yeah.
You're kind of born to have a thicker skin, so all of these things from an outside perspective may seem like it's torture.
Hang on.
Oh.
Start again.
Yeah, so say that's a perfect example, I'd say, is black resilience, where you're kind of taught to have a thicker skin. So these are things that kind of help you push you further than normal. So like in different examples, you can kind of go further. But like I said, it has good sides and it has bad sides.
Yeah.
So-
It's got its advantages
But
and disadvantages.
it would probably make her more likely to stop eating and more go to exercise, but you have to deal with the mental health fallout as well. So it's double-edged.
Yes. So that was a silent guess
100%.
that you can't see, but obviously you had something very, very productive to add to that.
And I must have known that.
Yeah.
No.
So there you go.
Decided to-
So yeah,
Cut across.
so we used to have a snack cupboard, and now that snack cupboard has got flour, like stuff to make. If you want to make something, go ahead. So listen to this. Winter told me, she went to the gym. She came back. She goes, didn't know if we was gonna have any dinner, but I'd cooked big dinner. She's like, I'm so happy, Mum, because this is an ingredients house. I said, what's that? She goes, well, my friend Lauren, her house is an ingredients house as well. No snacks.
Right.
That's a thing now for these young
Yeah.
people. Is your house an ingredient? What? I've never heard of that. I love it. I love it.
That is
I
great.
love it.
I wonder where they've got that from.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's really
Yeah,
a thing.
yeah.
So
I like
you
that.
either have loads of snacks at home or you have an ingredients house. So Winter and all her friends know that I didn't even know my house was ingredients house, but I do now. And I like that.
Yeah.
Because it
And what
cuts-
about finale?
What she likes. Oh.
How does she know that term? Is that
Well, she does now. So
Yeah.
like now when she comes home, I buy her all sorts, strawberries, blueberries. Sometimes I buy her a chocolate. The other day I bought a fizzy drink. They've got Fanta Tutti Frutti in a slim can. It's new, brand new. I bought it. I took 2 sips. I thought I don't like that. I knew the girls would have it, and they shared it. Do you know what I mean? Because like you said, a little bit of something bad every so often
yeah?
can't do too much damage.
It's
It's
exactly.
it's
Yeah.
It's a
exactly.
balance.
It's a balance. It's a
absolutely. So that's what I believe in. I believed in a balanced diet.
Yeah.
So I will have a bar of chocolate and an apple.
Right.
But I will,
yeah.
and I will
And
feel
then you'll sweat.
really. Yeah, I will feel really good about balancing that out.
But you know that there's lots of sugar in the apple,
right? You see,
right? Now
This-
it's different type of sugar from the sugar that is in the bar of chocolate.
it's good sugar apparently in the apple,
It's
right?
better sugar, but it is still sugar.
Sugar, yeah.
Yeah,
And
which
fruit can
turns
rot
into
your teeth.
carbohydrate.
Fruit can
Yeah,
rot your teeth if
yeah.
you don't clean your teeth
Yeah.
properly. You're in a lot of problems with fruit.
Yeah, well, I have lemon in my tea, and it's taking the enamel off my tea, so I'm only allowed one now. The hygienist says I'm only allowed one cup
see?
of lemon tea.
And that's I think that's what you said right at the beginning about what your dad said. Too much of anything is
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah.
And I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that conclusion I will definitely agree with. And I also know my friend's grandma, when she was having her dinner, if she was having sweet potato for her dinner, she'd just have sweet potato. There'd
Right.
be nothing else on that plate.
Right.
She would, sweet potato until she's full up, or yam until she's full up, or rice until she's full up.
Oh,
But
all
then-
carbs.
Yeah, but nothing.
No meat, no greens.
No, nothing. Not that balanced diet that
Yeah.
I thought. And she lived till a ripe old age, I heard.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, do you know
Yeah,
what I mean? That
yeah.
worked. That worked for her. And then you had somebody like my grandfather, who didn't smoke, didn't drink, and didn't eat meat, and died at 72 from a
Right.
stroke.
Right.
Had a stroke. But they say that people that are vegetarians are more prone to strokes because vegetables have so much sugar. Do you know there's another argument for
Oh,
that?
okay.
Did you know that? There's another argument for don't eat too much meat, or actually you need to eat meat.
Yeah.
And too much being a vegetarian is bad for you. Did you know that? If I wish I
No, but again, it goes with the whole thing.
Of
Like
the-
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like too much of anything.
I
is,
think, and I think that's where we'll have to definitely agree with this one.
Yeah.
So I think the conclusion that we've come to today is get a balanced diet,
Learn to cook.
learn to cook, because cooking is an art. The more you do it, the better you get.
Yep.
That's my theory with cooking. You ain't going to be able to boil that pan of rice straight away. Do you know what I mean? You're going to burn it. You're not going to put enough water in it. You're going to put too much water in it. Keep going. You know what I mean? Buy another bag of rice, or do a little bit at a time. But cooking for one now
It's really tough.
is really tough. But actually, if you've got a young person that you look after, it's so much more fun,
Yeah.
isn't it?
True. Yeah.
My friend, I went to her house before I had children. I said, "Who are you cooking all that food for?" She goes, "Me and my son." I was like, "Oh,
Can I stay?
yeah." I didn't even know that was a thing that at the time
Yeah.
that people had done that cooked all this food for a child. But
Yeah.
she was quite strict on it. Do you know what I mean? And I and then when I had children, I never forgotten that what she said.
Yeah.
So when I have when I had children, I was like, "Mom, I'm cooking for my son."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've arrived.
I've arrived. I've made it.
Yeah, I think that, and then, like you said, I mean, Cairo, he eats a lot, but he's not big, and that is because of the exercise. But he eats too much, like a lot,
But he's exercising all the time.
yeah, all the time.
Well,
but
he
I
needs it then,
Yeah,
doesn't he?
well, something's going on with him because seriously, he eats a lot.
And how old's
Elizabeth.
Cairo, remind me?
20.
So he's still growing.
Yeah. When do they stop?
So girls about 16, but boys it can be 25.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
What is it that's
Don't
growing in
quote
them
me
at
on that in
25?
case- Yeah, but I think boys can keep growing till like way older.
So did you know that your legs, your bottom half stops growing when you are about 14, 15 or 16? Only your top half continues to grow from there. Did you know
No, I
that?
didn't know
That's
that.
a fact.
Right.
Yeah. So otherwise you'd have like size 20 feet.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Yeah. That
But
is a fact.
girls tend to stop about 16 anyway. don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah. But and also, I think everybody from year 6, your feet are the same size. From year 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about
And
right.
that's
That
the
seems
reason
right.
why, because
Right.
your bottom half
Yeah,
stops
stops.
growing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it actually does. I thought that was really interesting. And also, they measure something by your wrist. What is it? I'll tell you another time when I
Right.
remember. They look at
Do
your wrist.
Do your wrists grow? I've been thinking that recently.
Yeah, if you put
think they
look,
grow?
muscle makes them
Yeah,
grow.
yeah. Muscle makes it grow.
Muscle makes your wrist grow because it's part of your forearm, isn't it?
Yeah.
And,
That's all it can be, but not fat.
No, not fat. No,
Although
but
actually, that's not true.
No, that's
remember
not
my
true.
little ones.
Yeah,
They had gorgeous
exactly.
wrists. I used
Exactly.
to love their wrists.
And also, weight training for the menopause is the key. Did you know that?
Yeah, I
that's
did. So
one of the
I don't
solutions.
have weights because I do a lot of moving around. I don't have a home.
Oh yeah, that's right.
so
Oh,
I
yeah,
do-
that's going to get sorted soon. Now you've got a job.
I
surely.
do push-ups.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Really good.
18
Really,
push-ups a day at the moment.
really, that's really good. That's really good. And do you do them properly?
Yeah,
Yeah. No, you would do, wouldn't you? You would do.
I
You
do.
got to put your arm like this.
I didn't even know what proper push-ups were.
Somebody told
Someone
you.
said you're doing proper push-ups. I was like,
Nice
Go me.
one. Good.
Yeah.
Good for you. So, we'll be back here with Elizabeth in a month. 4 weeks' time. At the end of the month again, right?
yeah, but
Or at the beginning
this is
of the
actually
next
the beginning
month.
of the month.
Yeah, so either way, but a amazing long month. So we've still got that time to
Yeah.
get. It's still been
Yeah,
4
yeah.
weeks. As you know, we are here every single Thursday at the Hub Live Radio. Me, FIIG'S, on this podcast, doing it live, doing it large as usual. So nothing's going to change there. I didn't do the show last week because
I wasn't there.
because you weren't here.
That's
That's
why.
a damn good
That's the
answer.
reason.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I
Because
love
we
it.
forgot.
No, I didn't know.
No, we forgot.
No, yeah, but I
yeah.
didn't. Yeah, so that was. But you, if we'd remembered, I would have done the show last week. If we'd remembered,
Yeah.
But I didn't do the show last week because I just. Do you know what it is? I just.
You couldn't talk about obesity on your own.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely no. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that. There would have been no balance there, and people would be saying that we need to get off the airwaves. Get her off the airwaves. She's doing this. She's doing that. Nobody would have approved of that. But management, big up yourselves. Thank you for giving us this platform here at the Hub Live Radio. Big up all the Hub Live Radio DJs. Big up yourselves. You guys can catch me actually on Unique Radio 7 till 10 every Thursday on the Charlie B and FIIG'S Breakfast Show, the Agree to Disagree Show. Oh my days, I've got a co-host. Well, I'm his co-host, and all we do is argue the whole programme.
Brilliant.
It is
it good?
absolutely brilliant,
Yeah,
honestly. And
yeah.
then we will come to a conclusion. But he's like, and he loves it. He's like, she's a woman, I'm a man. Rah, rah, rah. I was like, even though I identify as a man on the telephone, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm only a woman here in the flesh. So
Is
yeah,
that your man that...
Charlie B, his name is.
Right.
No, yeah, Charlie B. Have I said something about him before?
We were driving once and you had this big
Oh,
long
yes.
conversation with someone who wanted to be on the radio with you. Is that him?
Oh no, yes, I think it might be actually.
Right, yeah.
But he has his own radio show, so he asked me to go on the radio with him.
Ah.
So
okay.
that works out for me. I'm not really bothered which way around it goes, as long as we're together, Charlie. So yes,
Aw.
guys, thank you very, very much for tuning in. Like I said, we will be back here every single Thursday. Don't tune out for the Hub Live Radio because you don't want to miss anything. You want to stay tuned in it, as Charlie B said, keep it locked and loaded, which I find absolutely hilarious. I'm going to find a tune to play. Oh,
Because somehow,
yeah,
I can't believe it, but we have stopped talking at 1:45.
I know.
That has never happened before. We
Ever.
normally go right over.
Exactly.
But
Right.
somehow we've agreed. And
Yeah,
now that's
quite nicely actually,
Yeah.
and nice and early.
Yeah.
Um,
But I don't know what there is to disagree on.
No,
when-
it's true.
As
It
I
is
wrote
true.
down, the health conditions, if you are obese when you're a child, that you're more likely to have cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and some cancers.
As you get
for-
older.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So there's
goodness.
there's nothing to disagree on, is
No,
there?
no.
You've just got to.
you've got to keep it 100. People, be true to yourselves, isn't it? Self care, because it's all about that
Exactly.
is self care, isn't it?
It is.
It
and
is
and
self-care.
actually, so is the revision stuff. Weirdly,
Yeah,
like we don't put it under anything like that, but
It is.
actually caring for your brain, exercising your brain, not putting yourself in stressful situations, which of course, if you don't do any revision, you are putting yourself in a stressful situation.
absolutely. Because the day will come when you do have to sit that exam.
Yeah, and your anxiety level will peak
Through the roof.
Yeah, through the roof. Instead of slowly, I mean, probably at school you've had lots of sessions of of testing, which of low stakes testing. So you know, anxiety, just go in, do this. Let's put a grade on it. Let's look at it. How are we going to improve it? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So hopefully you've balanced out those anxiety levels, but try and avoid it by helping yourself. You know, it's simple, isn't it?
Yeah,
you
really,
tuck
really,
your shirt
really.
in.
Yeah.
Teachers aren't going to tell you to tuck your shirt in
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's in,
Yeah.
and they don't have to stop you
Exactly,
and raise
halfway down the
everybody's
hall.
anxiety or stress
Oh my
levels.
day.
So just do that for yourself, your brain, with revision. Keep the cortisol.
I'm thinking what you just said about teachers don't have to tell you to tuck your shirt in. I don't know if they keep up with it all. And they are going to they're going to implement something that helps them to keep up with it all.
Who keep up with what all?
The teachers keep up with all the rules and regulations.
Right.
Because they're human and because schools are so big and because there's only so many of them and so much more students, the consistency isn't common. So, for instance, Winter's been wearing her watch and her bracelet to school all term, and she got detention for it last week.
Oh, that's annoying. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But soon, I'm saying, schools being schools, government being government, they're going to bring in something, I don't know what it will be, some form of AI robot maybe, to pull you up when they're not watching.
I mean, that kind of thing has just gone on and on. Like that's
Yeah, but I'm
that
saying
is the inconsistency of having humans in a building
exactly, and that's why they're going to change
with
it.
a load of rules
That they can't implement and they can't consistently keep up.
Yeah,
It's physically impossible.
and and it's also to do with not presenting those rules with enough of a why. Like, why is this rule in place?
Yeah. So
Explained to the children
Okay.
clearly and with clarity, so the students understand the why, and then there's a lack of argument behind
when they're being told.
when they're being told to take it
So
off.
listen to this now. The why is going to be dependent on how much impact what they're doing has on the school generally. Full stop.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
something like wearing your bracelet to school is going to have hardly any impact. So that's why they're not on it. Do you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
why they didn't notice it sooner, basically.
Yeah.
Had it have been something like her shoes were
Open-toed sandals.
yes,
Yeah. They
then
would have been on that like a
exactly
ton of
because
bricks,
of the
yeah.
danger of
Yeah.
this and that and the
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's
So,
why she doesn't wear open-toed sandals, because
yes,
she knows that
she'll get
yeah.
caught for that.
Well, and also that it's dangerous.
Yeah, and that, well,
Someone's
she'll
gonna
get
stand
caught
on your
with
foot,
it
you know.
because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And that's why the teacher will be definitely more on it. So I find that really interesting. And I'm sticking to what I say. So mark our words, or mark my words. They will bring in some form of AI something to keep up with all the whys that aren't answered strong enough. So that they don't even have to answer them. You'll just be, it's in the book, doesn't matter why, you've been caught, da, da, da. Do you know what I mean? The robot's caught you, or whatever it is that they bring in. They will, because they're going to need to have control and order, and it's going to have to be relative to the way the world's going, which is digitally.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to keep up with
Okay,
these bloody
yeah.
kids,
Yeah.
which is going to be hard.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, you think you're getting older and more advanced. My dad says they're 10 million times smarter than us all in this room put together.
No, they don't have opinions.
What, kids?
No. Oh, the kids are
Yes, the
smart.
kid,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. I thought
Yeah,
you meant the AI.
No. The
I
children.
phased out there from
No,
it.
yeah,
Did you
did.
see?
Yeah, the children are 10,000 more times.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, so therefore we're going to need something to more than us to keep up with them, and the schools know it. They're already probably planning it. Probably got some little. You have got your shirt checked out. Go to detention. They probably got something already that
hope
they're
it sounds like
sampling.
that. It's going to use
You
your
are
voice.
wearing your bracelet. Go to detention.
Yeah.
And then
An American voice.
yeah,
It's going to have to be. Yeah.
because what's happening now is she goes, oh, I got half an hour, but I didn't go. Nobody called me. Do you know what I mean? She's getting away with it because of human error, and I'm just looking at the school thinking, you lot are so stupid.
Yeah.
You need to get a robot.
I actually had to get. You need to get a robot. I love it. I actually went into school with my son. I went to my son's parents' evening. Did I tell you this?
No,
I'm sure I did.
I'm not.
I went to my son's parents' evening. It was year 9. Is it time?
No,
Um,
not yet.
And I went round all these people, and practically every teacher told me that at some point he hadn't done some homework, and I was
Mortified.
like, mortified. And I went to the head of year and I said, every single teacher has told me my child has not done homework, and I said, I don't know. At no point has anyone picked up a phone
Yeah.
or
Written you a letter.
written me a note in the
Send you a
planner or
text.
anything
Yeah.
to tell me this piece of information. So it's on you, because they're now telling me, and you, as a school, you need to do something, because my son is a really good boy. He's not trying to be naughty, but if you're not picking him up,
Boys will just do
he
the
is-
bare minimum,
yeah,
won't
he's
they?
he's not going to do it.
Yeah.
So it says in the planner he's going to get detention if he doesn't do homework. No one has given him detention. They're all telling me tonight.
Yeah. Yes. So
That-
that
right?
inconsistency.
Instead,
Yeah.
no one has given him detention. Why is he? Because he's good, right?
Yeah.
So no one's given him detention. So the guy looks at me, looks at my son, and says, "Come and see me tomorrow at break time. You're in detention." So I put my
I'm
son
like that.
into
I do the same exact.
He did
thing.
it. He did his homework after that.
Yeah, I do the same. I will do. I say, you think you're going to school with those shoes on? I'll ring them before you get there and tell them that you got those shoes on. They go, they're like, you're going to ring the school? I say, yeah. Well, you think I'm not? Do you know what I mean? What, you think
I'm
scared to
owning
pick
this up.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm scared to pick up the phone
Yeah.
and tell the school. Because you're leaving here and then you're going to them. They need to know what you're about. They need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
I feel no
Otherwise,
way.
they think it's me. Yeah.
Otherwise, they think it's me. And that is the main, Elizabeth, you have put the... I'm not taking responsibility for all that
Yeah.
nonsense.
No.
No. They're not going to look at me, oh, yeah. She's black, single,
Beats a
They're not doing that to
child.
me. Not doing that to me, mate. So me and the school are best friends. I swear.
Apart from the child beating.
Oh, yeah,
incident.
apart from but even them, I've forgiven them because I know I
Yeah.
have to forgive them because they are looking after 3 of my children day in, day out.
Yeah.
I can't afford to be on the wrong side of the school.
No.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I cannot
Totally.
afford to be
I think you're
that
amazing.
parent.
Yeah.
So anything, they could drop a pin. Yeah, hi, is that FIIG'S? Yeah, just ringing to let you know that Winter's dropped a pin. Yeah, it landed horizontally just in the playground as you come in. They literally...
You get every bit of information.
So before they come home, I'm well informed of what happens in your day, mate.
Right.
So don't even bother. And they know, as you know, there's no telly at the weekend when you get detention at school.
Right, nice.
And it's a problem for them, not
Yeah.
me, because I'm just saving electricity.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm so happy about that. So, based on that, Mr. Blue's coming here. I don't know
Yeah.
what he wants. What time
I think,
is it?
is he telling us it's time?
56.
We've got 4
So,
minutes.
4 minutes. Please, can you do your, what's your password? I want to play a song. Please.
Big L.
Oh, yeah.
We're telling the whole nation.
The Premier League winners are Liverpool, so you put L-I-V-E-L-L.
Yeah.
That's it, Liverpool.
Right.
Without no, so simple.
So simple.
No nothing. No full stop.
Now
no
everyone knows
punctuation.
exactly which computer
Yeah.
to
So
take.
you lot, if you're bad enough to come to the Hub Live Radio studio and have a look at Mr. Blue's, try and nick Mr. Blue's computer and get into it. Good luck.
We know.
Yeah, we'll know it's you.
What?
We'll know it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it also has a track on it, so there.
Yeah.
Knocking at your door 10 minutes later.
Exactly.
Are you talking to the Facebook audience or the TikTok
I'm talking
audience?
to all of you lot, all you thieving
Which is the
people
more
that think
likely
you can
audience.
nick
Yeah.
Mr. Blue's computer. You can't.
We love you all. I know none of you would do that.
Yeah, well, there you go. She got more faith in you
I
than
have
I have.
faith.
I tell you that for now. Oh, I've got a tune, haven't I? That I love to play on my at the end, and this is my tune, and it's very good.
Right, thanks, FIIG'S.
Oh,
Another
thank you
another
very much.
storming session.
Another storming session. So what we'll do now, we'll go away and share it, and everybody will watch it because we are so interesting. Why wouldn't they? People, see
In
you
our
next
heads,
week.
anyway.
In our heads. That's what's important to me. See you guys soon.
Well.
The lyrics.
Well. Street top. Living on the city street top. Living on the city street top. Living on the city street top. When you're street top, you can't let the ups and downs of life turn you around. You got to keep on moving on. Places you go, people you see, that's where you find the answers to survival. Learning things as you go. And now you're traveling down the path of life where only fools dare to go. And even though you're losing, you know you just can't let it show. When you're street tough, you got to learn to be strong. When you're street tough, you got to take care of your own. Street tough, win or lose, live or die. Street tough. When you're street tough. And through the years you hold your tears, you hide your fears. You got to survive. Doing the things you got to do, you know you better if you want to stay alive. You're traveling down the path of life where only fools there to go. And even though you're losing, you know you just can't let it show. When you're street tough, you got to try for yourself. When you're street tough, you got to fight like hell to get somewhere. Street tough. There's nobody out there who really cares. Street tough. Lord, when you're street tough, living on the